So, welcome back, everyone. I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently moving forward. Uh, I was doing my videos where I would start on a project, I would record a little intro, and then I would build some and give you an update, and then finish it and give you a tour. Well,
This unit is
well, now I think I'm going to build and then just show you what I've built because it's easier than stopping and starting. And since I have ADHD, I have a problem of starting a project and then I'll see something else I want to do real quick that I'm going to forget later, so I'll do it. So I've got a lot of things that I've been doing around the settlement, and uh, they don't connect anything with the video I was trying to make. So first, we're going to do an update on this here. You can see I added some lights on the side here, a guard, and a spotlight that's checking out this area. I did something similar on this side, except that I have a shotgun turret hooked up and a shotgun turret on the building because we have a special building here that you're not going to see anything about today, but it'll be the next video I do. And then we go this way. Now, in my mind, the Minutemen decided to use the good stuff to build their gatehouse. They were like, we found a good barn intact. Let's make a good impression with the first thing you see when you're coming in. And they made these signs and whatnot. In my mind, that means that the rest that was left over to build with is pretty much junk. So I wanted to go through and take different barn walls. And these ones here, I hooked them up the way they were supposed to be on the building as they snap, and then I lowered them all the way to the ground using Place Anywhere, which is a lifesaver doing this stuff. And then I have this tower. It came with a guard post mod that I downloaded. Um, the mod list is in the description of the video. Excuse me. Now, the rest of these are different colored woods because I have retextures for the barn walls, and I went through and then I used a couple of other wall sections. I think this one here is from Woody's Wasteland stuff. But in my mind, the pieces with holes in them make good for this front wall because they can be patrolling and be protected behind some wood and stuff here, but they also have a way to duck out and fire back if they need to. And then on this side, I just did the normal, like, size walls for stuff. Now, these are the size of barn walls, but somebody made them into out of the assets for Sanctuary, and I was really happy with how they looked. And I was like, well, yeah, they'd use some crap from Sanctuary to try to do this, but you have the warehouse and barn walls, or windows, rather, in them. But I wanted this to be like they can walk through. And then I've got some guard posts you can see back there, like this one right here. I have enough guards that they sandbox between this and the other ones that I have set up around the settlement. This guy that's standing over here on the stone stuff is a NPC that I can put down using USO, and it's just a Minuteman guard. He'll stand there and be on guard. I don't know if he sandboxes or not. It'll be cool if he does, but I don't think they do. They just stand there. And I've got some turrets through here from the advanced turret set. They don't require power, which is what I wanted. And I wanted there to be like access holes that it looks like people can come out and like work on them and stuff. And then I had these foundations, and I was going to put fencing down here all along. And I did have like white picket fence on both sides. You can see it on the backside through there. Um, so what I did was the guard post mod that I downloaded had a bunch of barbed wire and stuff in it too. Thanks to Ranger Dave for this mod suggestion. I saw him use it several times, and I was like, I want that. So these barbed wire uh, barricades will keep people from trying to crawl in under this and get inside. Now this barn door wall thing I have here, I wanted to have a ramp that came out, or stairs that came just to the water, but it looked weird, and I may update that in the future if I figure out a better way to do it. But all of the angles and stuff were weird, and I just figured out how to use the angle position changer for place anywhere. So, and I've enclosed the entire front. This is basically where the settlement expansion line goes to. So we have it all the way down here. Then it's to here. And then it goes all the way up and around on the other side there to protect this building. You can see through the window there. It'll give you a clue what it is. I'm sure you'll figure it out, but I just want to move away from that right now. So we've got all these front pieces, and then I used some other pieces from another mod. I think this is from Woody's Wasteland stuff too, and went all the way around. And then when we got to here, I was like, I wanted something to make it look like this was more supported and protected. And I found in that same mod has these box barriers. So I made a little box uh, area here, and I stuck a plasma turret back there. At least I think that's a plasma turret. I could go into workshop mode and tell you, but it takes like 5 minutes to go into workshop mode, so we ain't got time for that today. And then we'll just go right through here. So it's a long walk. Oh, there, see, there's one of the guys standing on the guard post. So this is a long walkway that they can walk along. Faces into Sanctuary, gives you a good view. And then you go into this capsule. I wanted the corner to have something different than the standing up watchtowers that I had. And I found this capsule in. Now, I'm not sure which mod it was, to be honest. I can't remember at the moment. But at least these pieces snap to the capsule, where the ones in USO don't. And that's another Woody's Wasteland. Oh no, this might be the. This is either from Woody's Wasteland, this wall here with the chain link, or it's one of the security walls from the guard post thing. Because you get walls and all kinds of stuff with that mod. And then you come to here. Now this is an highly exposed area of Sanctuary, and I wanted to be like, well, they wanted the forward facing to have like the wood and stuff, but they're not too worried about what's going on the side here, since they're surrounded by water and you got to swim to come to here and get in. So in my mind, in my head canon, they used sandbags for a lot of stuff as well. Sandbags have been used for hundreds of years with the military for all kinds of stuff. And so these are laser turrets I've got through here. And then these are individual stacked bags that come in these stacks like this. And then we have these walls. that are used for trenches. That's what these pieces are for, is trench stuff, to build trenches. But I used them to build uh, spaces through here. Sorry with my atrocious camera work. I'm getting used to doing this. I've gotten pretty good at being able to do it while building, but doing tours in the free camera mode is a little bit of a challenge for me. Now you'll see there is barbed wire here as well. Um, that is for another project that I have that connects with these buildings back here and up there and the hay. I'm sure you'll be able to figure out what I'm doing there. But right now we're focusing on the walls. Now that right there starts the end of the constructed walls for now. And then I use these hedges to kind of cut this area off. And if you go through and you follow the wall line, you'll see I've got all of these hedges, and then we have junk walls here fencing this area in. And then you go along the back and you have all of this through here. And I didn't put any like turrets on this side much. Um, there are turrets in other places around here because you can still hear them. There used to be some turrets on this building, and then I was like, no, I didn't want them there. But you can see we have walls and the private hedges, or privet hedges, I think is what they are, actually. And then I had this area open, and I wasn't going to seal it in until I realized that, holy shit, something died back here, and I don't know what. Why is there blood everywhere? Holy shit. There was nothing back here yesterday when I was building back here, guys. So I don't know where that blood came from. But the hatch, if you open the hatch up and go down in, it's an underground spot here in Sanctuary. So I wanted to enclose it to make it seem like they still wanted to have access to that. Because originally I was just going to close it off and leave a door right here, a powered door, so that you could come out and get to the hatch. And then I was like, no, I'll go ahead and seal it in. Now a lot of the, oh wow, wait, I must be missing a texture or something. Uh-oh, that's not good. Huh. Well, either there was a massacre back here, or, well, yeah, I can tell there's something going on here. Uh-oh. Well, let's hope that's not a game crashing area. A game crashing problem. So these walls are technically outside of the build area, so I had to build them inside the build area, which is over here, and then use place anywhere to put them out there. I wanted it to be a big enough space in case I decided I wanted to use it for something later. Now the problem with this tree leaning against this house is you can't eliminate that tree. Even when I had my scrapping mods, I couldn't get rid of that tree. And now that the scrapping mods don't work for me for some reason, that tree is there. And so is a bunch of other stuff that I really want to get rid of. Like, I could clean up all those leaf piles. I was doing that, and then I stopped and started doing other stuff. And now my scrapping mod doesn't work, and I can't clean up the streets like they would if they actually lived here, because who's just going to leave all this trash and leaves laying around? That's stupid. So I use these hedges back here. Really kind of blurry on that texture there. I don't know what's going on with that. I noticed the other day when I moved one of these, they had that really weird blurry motion to it. Like the wind is blowing it or something. I'm saying that's weird. I may have to get rid of those. I don't know. Now these walls here, I need to close that gap. Well, I'm not gonna worry about right now. This wall set here is the Wasteland Walls by Ranger Dave. Well, it's under Evil Viking 13, but he goes by Ranger Dave now. And I loved these walls and the way they are built so much. Uh oh, we went too far. Sorry, guys. You saw into the abyss. Let's hope there's no lasting side effects. I need to close that gap in too. I might stick some turrets in these gaps. And then these, of course, are the hedges that are here originally, blocking all of this area up. And I just blocked in sections and holes that we had. And we have a door here. I need to put a lock on it. I forgot to do that so that we have access outside because this is my house. And I'm going to make this into a really nice, like, backyard patio hangout area. And the reason the door is here is so I can go out and look at the creek when I want to. And we have this. Um, I mentioned in my last video that the campfire with the tire and the flagpole and everything was from Liberty Reborn. I was wrong. I found out this week that it's actually from You and What Army, which increases your Minuteman patrols in the Commonwealth, and that this tower, a set of beds, and the campfire with the flag are objects that you can place in your settlements. You can only have one per settlement, and I think you have to have a certain amount of something to be able to place this tower because I tried to place it at a different location and it wouldn't let me. And after you put down the campfire, which I did over at the security building, which is over there, I can't put another one in. So once you do one and done, it's done. So the Minutemen can come out here and they go to the top of the tower and patrol. I've not seen anybody in it yet because I just put it in yesterday. But if they sandbox correctly, they should be able to go all the way to the top and look like they're on guard out there. And then we kept going with this and another junk wall. Some more junk walls here. And then this is another from the guard post like mod like the other one. And we have the walls back with the sandbags. Because I would assume this area is a spawn point up in there somewhere, I'm pretty sure. And I wanted to be able to really protect this area with some Minutemen. You have to put assign a guard to this, and they'll come and sandbox. I've seen a guard in the other one, Codsworth. I put on guard duty. My Codsworth is a badass war machine now, and he was up in there floating around watching the other day. So now this gate here, Zabrina's workshop, I mentioned, has all kinds of ways to connect objects to the door so they open and close. So this is a fuse box that gives me 10 power. That's too much for what I need. This one only needs 1, but it's the smallest generator switch that I have to put here. And then that device down there is connected to this door. As long as this is off, this door won't open. Then when I flip it on, the door will open. And I really like that. I can do that so that each area is protected. Now this is the original setup I had here originally. I have a minigun and a missile turret aimed back here because there is a spawn point up that way on the road, I believe, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. There could be no spawn points back here, and then this is just for my immersion to protect it. But that's what I like about this is I can have my immersion in thinking these are all things feasibly built by the Minutemen. Like the wood walls with the sandbags. Making sandbags is easy, and doing the walls, all you gotta do is have junk pieces of wood that you can throw together with it. Say you get a bunch of boards, you slice them into like 2x4 pieces, cut all the bad off, use only the good. You could build these walls easy. And I say that from experience because I used to work in construction with my father, and we never put sandbags together, but I have built wall type stuff out of all kinds of things. Pallets are amazing to tear apart and use for something like this. It's the right size, the right thickness. I mean, you could build a bunch of stuff with just the junk you have laying around and you don't even know it. Most pallets, where I live in West Virginia, especially, you can get pallets for free, just anywhere, all the time. They're like free pallets, because these big companies, industrial places, everything is shipped on a pallet, and then they end up with like a warehouse full of pallets, and they're like, we got to get rid of these, and then they end up piling them up outside, and so yeah, that's a good tip, guys. If you need wood to do a project, get some pallets. They can come apart pretty easy depending on how you take them apart. They cut easy. They last a long time. Oh yeah. See, I don't know why it did that. It did this when this texture mishap happened when I went into FreeCam because everything was fine before I started recording. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to stop using FreeCam. Well, this is the first time I'm actually using FreeCam to do it. Usually, I stay in build mode and use that because it's smooth and I don't see any problems. And it could be my FPS, to be honest. I don't have the best graphics card, and so it's rendering just what's important, and everything else is like, we don't have enough speed and power for that. And you go around here, and then this is the other side of the wall. I made a rickety walkway back here because it matched the front, sort of. And I was like, oh, I kind of want to repeat that on this side, but I want it to be different. And there are guard posts, one on each end, that the guards will sandbox to, uh, or they're supposed to sandbox to. They may not be able to nav mesh this rickety bridge that well. Oh, no, I know what's wrong. It's because I forgot to put in the stairs. There's no stairs. They can't get up there. They can't patrol up there. I'll fix that. Oh, I'm an idiot. And I did the same thing with the barricades with the plywood or the barbed wire back here because it makes sense. This would be something you could easily do. Find old barbed wire and cut some trees down, like those trees there. Get several posts out of all these. All of this busted up trees. That's fence everywhere. And then as we come back here, I wanted one more guard post. And I found this one in that guard mod as well. Uh, and I really liked the way it looked. You can see What are you doing down here? You're supposed to be up there. Why? You know what? I'm not even gonna question it because NPCs are just like that. Now, I do not remember what gave me this. It might be Tumba Jumba's stuff, but he came with that stuff on. He like showed up here with that stuff on, and he's got a holstered pistol and everything. I'm like, I really like the look. Like, he looks badass. And he's my old grizzled veteran out here keeping watch. And then we've got the stairs here. Then I hid some uh, heavy machine gun turrets in with these things because I want to be able to protect the area. I even surrounded the water area here with these because they make sense as a way to protect the area. Like, nobody is going to be determined enough to crawl up and over and through this to get into Sanctuary. I don't, unless you show up with blankets and all kinds of stuff. It's not going to happen. And we have turrets up on top of this building here, the final part of the security. I believe these are heavy blaster turrets, I believe. And then spotlights shining out. And then part of the security here is we have missile turrets on the bridge there. And we have missile turrets right out here on the end to watch for anything coming from the. And you can see the red rocket up there, which is a special build that I have built and that I plan to rebuild because it fits in with my lore of what's going to be happening with Sanctuary. We got McCready waiting on me here. Oh, and I wanted to mention this. I was lamenting the fact that I couldn't have the original flag for the Minutemen because I had Liberty Reborn, which gave me that flag on the sign to hang and have on sign things and flagpoles and whatnot. And I was so sad because I loved the blue Minuteman flag design. And then I found a mod that gave me a whole bunch of flags and it gave me this high res retexture of the Minuteman flag. And I was so happy to be able to have the blue flags back. You see, I got them everywhere. But yeah, that is the walls of Sanctuary, and I gave you an update on the back gate. So, I hope that this is inspiring or at least creative. I know it's probably not that creative, seeing as I just used stuff that was available. Well, most of that wall there is actually from mods, with the retextures and stuff. But I wanted there to be variety to the wall. I didn't want it to be all barn pieces or all warehouse pieces. And sure, I could have used just the vanilla barn and warehouse pieces from the DLC and went through there, but it would have lacked, you know, substance. It would have lacked the creative flair that you get with having multiple junk pieces just strewn down through there. This is a talking point. It's you walk up and you're like, oh, that gives it really good texture and flair when you're looking at it, rather than being all similar. And I realized that after I did the barn entryway here, that it's all uniform, square, same color, and I was like, I kind of wish I had thought of doing the different colored pieces sooner, because I went through and did another building where I switched some pieces out. But in my mind, the nice pieces up front for the gatehouse of Sanctuary makes sense. And that is the tour, folks, for the walls of Sanctuary and the end of our security tour for Sanctuary. Now, the next building I'm going to show you is this one, not today, and it'll be listens for next week. And I'm also going to be working on this over here. You can see where the green is. This was a greenhouse, and then I took it apart because I can't find the pieces I used. They're in my menu somewhere, but I downloaded something to help organize stuff and some patches, and now everything has been moved, and I'm not sure where it's at. But I'm going to put a different building here, anyways. Uh, I'm not sure if I want to do like a residence or a warehouse or something, but I'm going to be working on that. And then from there, we will go in a line up through Sanctuary, and we will rebuild as we go. I have some ideas for who gets what and where. Uh, I want all of the original survivors to have their own places, and now I fixed that, and it didn't get saved, and now I got to fix it again. I didn't realize when I put this in. This is the restaurant bar that we're going to have in the area. I didn't realize I put it in, and the stuff was hanging off, so I got to switch it. And he can't get up in there to work, and that's why he's standing beside of it, and that's why everybody's standing here waiting and not getting any drinks. By the way, this is Sheffield now. Just look at how pimp he is. And Sheffield's got a story coming up within my lore, and is why he looks so pimpin'. Uh, and I think it's going to be fun when we get to that point. And then, of course, we've got the Red Barn Inn already. And then all of these buildings back through here, I have no idea what to do with them. Uh, I'm going to go through and try to do stuff. Now, of course, my house, I know I'm going to do some stuff with. Uh, make it into a nice location. But then the rest of these, oh, don't pay attention to the treehouse. Uh, that's for later. But I think with this building here was for Sturgis. I'm going to extend this carport out as close as I can to this building. And I'm going to give Sturgis a proper garage. Uh, Sturgis also has a big piece of the story that I'm creating to go. And I can't wait to reveal all of that to you guys. And then, of course, I've got a bunch of stuff back there. Now, all of those buildings, that barn building right there with the scaffolding, this tree house, and then these two barns over there, are all connected to one group, one couple who lives back here, and are in charge of our farming that goes on here. Now, that over there where the truck is a stage and some walls. I thought about putting some, like, traders over there. Or I might turn it into a garden market situation to go with these guys, because it seems like a good idea. These other houses, I have no clue what I'm going to do with them. Other things that I plan on building here, and we're going to go up overhead and take a nice overhead shot. As you can see from here, I plan on putting in a school somewhere. It's probably going to be close to where the jungle gyms and stuff are or were. Maybe I deleted all that because I think they went. I think it went through right here. I don't know. I'm a little lost now. Haha. Yeah, but there's supposed to be like there was school equipment. I think I got rid of them. I think it was right through here in this area, and I'm going to build a school for Sanctuary. I had built it one other time, uh, and I used a school bus, and that's what I plan on doing again because I really liked that build. But I have some ideas of other things to do with it as well. So that's the plans for Sanctuary. So moving forward, I'll have completed tours only because it's slowing me down having to build and then I have to wait to record when I'm building. So I would have to start the intro and then build, stop, give a progress, build again, and then give the final tour of the object. And that wasn't working for me anymore. It's slowing me down. I could be making more videos and have them ready to go uh, for you guys than what I'm doing now. And that's what I want to do. And I really hate this fog spot. I wish I had never put in that fog condenser because this fog spot just doesn't go away. You can even put a fog condenser back in this area and it doesn't go away. It just stays and gets worse. So that was I had fog condensers in the greenhouse and I was like that'll make it look like they're gathering like moisture to or creating moisture in there for the plants. And no, I just ended up with a big cloudy spot glitched in the middle of my street that won't go away. Even in daylight, it doesn't go away. It's here forever. So that is the plan for Sanctuary. And I kind of want to know what do you guys want to see me do next? Do you want? I'll throw a poll uh, somewhere on YouTube. I don't know exactly how to do that just yet. I did one in one of my post comments, but I don't think anybody saw it or said anything or did anything because I don't have anybody watching. But if there's the people who are watching, um, I'll tell you what, throw a comment down below and tell me where you want me to go next. I have several places that are completed that I can go to and give you a tour. I don't want to do Red Rocket just yet because I have some rebuilding I want to do over there and connect it to back here to Sanctuary. Um, that Provisioner is a robot that comes from Red Rocket. I don't know if I mentioned what I did with Red Rocket. If I didn't, I'm going to keep it a secret. If I did, well, then you're ahead of the game. So that is all, everybody. I will see you next week.